And convicted of 3 counts now, in a total of 2 trials. As Mike said, a lot to play out here in the coming months ahead. Potential appeals, obviously sentencing as well. But we're going to have much more on this coming up at 6 o'clock tonight.
All right, that was coverage from earlier this evening. We're joined now live by Andrew Alperstein. He is a criminal defense attorney. We just saw her public defender leave the court. I'm sure you can understand exactly how he's feeling, Andrew. What do you think is going on? Is he planning appeal already?
Well, I'm sure they will appeal. She really probably has nothing to lose, especially because it's free. She's got a public defender. I'm sure they'll appeal both the verdicts from both cases. That's for sure. I'm sure she'll do that, yeah.
When we do get to sentencing, tell us how that will work. How will that play out? Will there be a separate hearing prior to sentencing, or will the judge just simply come out and make a decision?
What will likely happen, well, the judge will have ordered today a pre-sentence report, which is a background report. Mosby and her lawyers will cooperate with that and give information about her finances and family and health. That will all not be public. It'll be presented to the lawyers for comment, and then the judge will consider that. Most likely the lawyers for both sides will also submit papers to the judge. And then, it's a traditional sentencing hearing. So she'll bring in witnesses that'll say good things about her. The government will argue, for a sentence. Federal sentencing is a little different. They have these guidelines that are very, very exact. They quantify various behaviors in the case, everything from the fraud value to whether she testified and they ruled against her. It all goes into a matrix and gives the judge a range of sentence. And we'll hear about what that is at the sentencing hearing, and we may see that in the papers, probably will before the actual hearing, which I think will probably be in usually about 2 months. Then they get to present on both sides things that you would expect. You'll hear about Mosby's background and character, the good things she's done in the community, the consequences, how it will affect her. They'll consider whether there's real loss, whether or not the mortgage holder suffered a financial loss because of her dishonesty and things like that. And then the judge will be charged to come up with what she thinks is a fair sentence. But it will not be helpful to her that she's got 2 separate criminal events and 3 convictions.
She took the stand, and there was a lot of debate whether she would or not. She chose to get in the witness stand and represent herself to the jury. Do you think that was a good idea in retrospect?
Well, it may probably led to the acquittal of the 1 count. Here's the problem. When they get to sentencing, the government's going to argue that because she testified one way and the jury found beyond a reasonable doubt that she was guilty, the government will argue that she was found that she lied beyond a reasonable doubt. So now you've got, the CARES Act from the first trial and a dishonest behavior there. You've got the conduct in this mortgage fraud thing. So you perjury, then you've got the dishonesty related to fraud, which is what she just was convicted of today. And then you've got her testimony, which is now seemingly a 3rd dishonest act. I think the government's going to probably make a lot out of it.
And so also consider, we've talked a little bit about the fact that her husband, or former husband, Nick Mosby, testified there in her trial. Based upon what you saw, how effective was he in terms of helping her, or did he hurt her?
Well, it seemed like her defense for the count that she was acquitted of related to everybody sort of lied to me, right? She blamed the mortgage broker, her husband, and he was paying attention to the taxes and other things. But, ultimately this count she's convicted of, Vic, it seems that they would have found that the husband was involved in that. So they discredited her. They obviously discredited him about this gift loan, $5,000 that she wanted to justify she had to get the loan. You can't lie on a mortgage application. That's the bottom line. If her husband helped her in it, that's not good for him. Yeah.
Andrew, thank you very much. You've given us great analysis on this story, and I'm sure we'll be in touch with you in the days to come as this case continues to play out.
Thank you.